Hi, Dia Irby here, your local community leader and real estate agent, here to introduce you to another neighbor, someone that's making a difference in your area, in the Bull City. Listen up and see what they have to say.
Circle of Oaks is an equine therapeutic center for women. And so if I break that into other words, I would say it's a place where women and horses can come together in a beautiful natural setting, and it opens the door for personal growth, personal development, healing, and wholeness. That's what we are about. Now, what we are not is a therapeutic riding center, because most people who know about therapeutic work with horses assume that we would ride. But none of our clients get on these horses, and that's good because the horses are privately owned. Merlin belongs to me. The other two horses are privately owned. They're boarded here. But to say we're going to work with our clients and your horses in a round pen where your horse might not even have any tack on, that's that's better for people, but it also is the nature of our work. Because what we are working on in terms of interpersonal skills, relationship skills, those things would actually not work well with riding, which focuses on a sport of physical activity. And so that's why we don't ride. I like to say that we're passionate about what we do. And I think that's fair. So I've kind of said, well, we're passionate because of what we love, and we're passionate because of what we value. So of course I had to figure out what it is, what do we love? What we want to work with women, that's our passion. So we love the company of women. We really love the company of horses. You know, it's just, it's a really good, anyway. But then the synergy of watching women grow through self-discovery and insight. I mean, this isn't about Elizabeth telling them you need to do this. This is about what is drawn out of a person as they interact with a horse with a gifted facilitator, so that self-discovery and insight is so powerful in the way women grow. And the big heart of a horse like these, it helps to bring it out. And of course, we also love the kind of beautiful, peaceful surroundings that are here. And the presence of God. And when I walked on this property, I felt His presence. So, oh, hi Merlin, are you visiting? We're passionate about living out what we value with each other first. And then inviting our clients into that. And living it out includes the way we handle our horses. We came up with 4 of them, and it was cool because I wrote them and she said, oh, I would have written exactly the same ones. I thought, well, great, I think we're done. So those are authenticity is our first core value. Healing and growth, of course. Healthy relationships. And what does that look like? And how do you live that, since so few of us get to experience that? And then wholeness. What is wholeness from the perspective of all of us as a whole person? There are 4 of us on our team right now. Elizabeth is our provider, so to speak. I'm thinking in the medical terms, so she's the provider. So she's a master life coach with many years of experience and an equine facilitated coach. And she's also a career equine professional. So from the years of riding and running barns and so on, I wouldn't even try to do this without her. Because I'm like, okay, this just happened, what do I do? And you know, I have experience, I've been a horse owner, but that's not the same as running a barn like she has. And so she uses the interactions between the clients and the horses, oh, thank you, Merlin, as the way that we open the door to those things that I mentioned before about self-discovery. And the particular issues that we deal with are interpersonal dynamics, boundaries, communications, trust issues. Horses are uniquely gifted to teach us that because they live in the context of relationships for their very survival. I'm the CEO technically of the company, but basically I own the farm and I live in the house. So, you know, that's right. Is that I would be called a barn manager would be the word, and because I run the boarding operation. So I care for the horses day by day. And the other thing that I did since I last saw you was that I became certified by one of the largest international therapeutic horsemanship associations. It's called PATH International, but not as a riding instructor, because again, that's not what I do or we do. I'm certified as an equine specialist in mental health and learning. So there's this category of people that are certified by this organization to facilitate the work of psychotherapists, educators, life coaches. And by me being part of the therapeutic team, I would be focusing on the horse while the provider is focusing on the client. Now in Elizabeth's case, since she's also a horsewoman, I'm a bit superfluous. So we're working out, how we do the client session. I'm also a gynecologist.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was on the Duke faculty for a number of years as an OBGYN. And so again, that the full circle of now I get to work with women again, but in a very different capacity. I want to introduce Karen Shapiro. She is my assistant barn manager. You have a title now.
Oh, I have a
She's
title.
the assistant barn manager. I would not survive if it weren't for Karen, because she comes alongside me and her work ethic is extraordinary. I'm just so thankful to have Karen here as a part of our team, because she brings a wealth of experience and knowledge about equine management, nutrition, health management, wellness, and all kinds of things from all of her years of experience at Hope Reigns, which is where the three of us met. The fourth member of our team that we are so excited about, she's just getting started, is a psychologist, whom Dia knows actually. But she is someone who's been watching the growth of this place for 2 years. The title is she's a licensed clinical mental health counselor, and she's in private practice in Raleigh, and shortly, in the next couple of weeks, she's going to begin to use Circle of Oaks as one of her practice sites. So she'll be bringing clients on the property, but not to work with the horses, because that's not her lane. On the other hand, it's such a wonderful referral network, because we really respect having a mental health provider here on site in case we need to send someone to them. And also, we're happy to have clients that want to step into the kind of work that Elizabeth does, and it can be a good mutuality. In addition to, if she wants to offer equine services to her clients, she'll partner with Elizabeth. And here they are. There are 3 horses that are very much, we consider them very much a part of our team. So this is Merlin, as you know, and then I think you've already met Nova, who's the thoroughbred out in the field, and then Paladin's the quarter horse, who's over on the other side. And we really see them as therapeutic partners, in the sense that the way we treat them is part of what we want our clients to see modeled for a relationship. And so giving them a voice and trying to provide them with optimal Are you going to roll? He's going to roll. Okay, did you change your mind? Okay. Anyway, that's part of what we love here, is that the horses have a voice and that they are partnering with us as we work with clients. We realized that we want to be clear about what we don't do. And we were talking about this a little bit before. We don't do psychotherapy. We don't work with traumatized patients. We don't work with PTSD veterans, those sorts of things, because those people are best served by mental health professionals. And since I'm a gynecologist, not a psychiatrist, Elizabeth is a life coach, not a psychologist, we wanted to be very clear about what our lane is, so to speak. And so what we don't do is do therapy, but we are very therapeutic.
Yes, individual and group. Individual, it's an hour, and we begin by talking, getting to know one another. We do some life coaching time, so it's like honing in on what brought you here, and these are things we'll talk about before we even set up the session. But we come out and we start not with the horses, we start just with the 2 of us and talking about stuff. And then based on what someone's working on, we will choose to either bring a horse out to the round pen, or maybe go out to the paddock with them, or out in the pasture. We have a lot of different options, and we'll then use the session time to dig deeper with a horse. In a session, the things that really have high impact are usually things that we don't notice in our regular world. So it's not dramatic. Like Merlin right now is being very dramatic. Sessions are like watching grass grow. So it's very calm, it's very let down, it's very quiet, but it's about giving people a chance to tune in to what they're experiencing. The horse will reflect that back. What's with the horses? Like, why horses? Why do we use horses in working with women? And as Mary Lee talked about, our focus is around growth and development. It's relational in its core. So the things that we are working on are the same things as our core values. Horses, as you get to experience, even just being around Merlin, they open up our hearts. They're deeply, deeply, deeply authentic. Horses are very honest about their own experience in the world. To partner with a sentient being who experiences us, who gives us feedback about how we show up, who is willing to let us know what works for them and what doesn't work for them, and who's very forgiving and non-judgmental.
Big vision for the download that I got literally to buy this place was about a retreat center. And a retreat center requires overnight facilities so that we can do multi-day programming. And the vision and the heart that I have, which Elizabeth shares, is for professional women in burnout. So that's our goal. That's where we want to go. And this property, you can't see it from here, but you walk over in the other direction of on the other side of the barn. That side of the property is the second house site. And if we put a gate right up on the fence line and run a new driveway right along that fence line through the trees, it will go into that place where there's already a half an acre of open land. There's a place for little cabins or tiny houses in the woods around the central opening. We've already planted a privacy hedge just to secure it, and that's our long-range vision.
Wasn't that fascinating? We have wonderful people in the Bull City area. If you or someone you know would like to be interviewed, featured on this website, on the right side of the website, there is a place to click, Request to be Interviewed, and it will send me a message. You'll put some information in and I'll get right in touch with you. Until next time, see you around the city.